This is for you. Not to comfort you. Not to soothe you. This is a weapon, a manifesto, a jolt of electricity against everything you were taught to silently endure. You, who are 12 years old and already know the world hates you. You, who understand, without anyone having to explain, that your body offends, your voice disturbs, and the way you exist is treated like a crime without trial. They told you without words. They screamed it with every silence. And you got the message. Because you're not naive. You weren't born yesterday. Because you had to learn the truth too early. Not everyone is born with permission to be. And that breaks you. But it doesn't destroy you. It hurts. But it doesn't kill you. It isolates. But it doesn't erase you. Because you're still here. And you see everything. And no lie can undo what you already know. You're not confused. You're conscious. You're awake. And that makes you dangerous. You're dangerous because you refuse to swallow the lie that respect is earned by pretending to be like everyone else. Because you won't live a lie. Because you know what they demand from you isn't respect, it's surrender. It's betrayal. It's amputation. They want you docile. They want you grateful just to breathe. They want you to bow your head in gratitude for being ignored. But you won't give them that. You won't smile while they stomp on you. You won't stay silent to avoid making them uncomfortable. You won't apologize for existing. If your existence hurts them, let them bleed. If your voice irritates them, let them cover their ears. If your presence makes them feel small, let them step aside. You weren't born to reassure anyone. You were born to burn it all down. You're not a confused kid. You're a weapon in the making. You're dynamite disguised as tenderness. Your revolution dressed in doubt. Every tear you hide is gunpowder. Every word you swallow is fuel. And everything they tell you to shut down will one day come back multiplied, and it will level everything. Listen carefully, you don't need love from those who despise you. You don't need acceptance from anyone who wants you in pieces. You don't need to belong to a circle that only lets you in if you crawl and leaves you wounded when you leave. Anyone who asks you to change just to stay doesn't deserve to have you around. Anyone whose affection depends on the sacrifice of your identity doesn't deserve a second of your time. Feeling lonely? Of course. You're surrounded by cowards. You were born into a world built to erase you. You're walking through ruins while others dance on the rubble of your dignity. But that loneliness, it's not punishment. It's a test. An initiation. A sign that you haven't been broken. A sign that you still carry fire. And that fire, it's not to warm the hands of those who froze you out. It's to burn down everything they tried to impose on your body. Burn the unspoken words. Burn the gestures that humiliated you. Burn the rules you never wrote but were forced to obey. Burn the altars where they offered you as sacrifice. You don't want to be president. You want to abolish the presidency. You don't want acceptance. You want to dismantle the system that classifies. You don't want in. You want to break down the door. Because you are not the exception. You are not a rarity. You are not the one who gets saved for being quieter, more polite, more passable. You carry every story that came before you. You are the brutal answer to centuries of repression. You are the inevitable consequence of all the shame that's been stored up. And the world knows it. That's why it fears you. That's why it tries to convince you your dream is impossible. That's why it points fingers at you, isolates you, ejects you. Because your mere presence exposes the failure of their entire moral order. Because you, by simply existing, prove there's not just one way to be. Not just one way to live. Not just one kind of life worth living. Look around you. Look at the people giving you advice. Listen to their lives. Do you really want to be like them? Do you want to live apologizing? Do you want to go through life meeting everyone else's expectations? Do you want to be remembered as someone who never bothered anyone? That's not peace. That's a graveyard. You're not here for that. You're here to disrupt. To bother. To force the world to rebuild itself. To make those who thrive on injustice start to tremble. To make fake smiles crack when you enter the room. To make masks fall when you speak. They'll call you dramatic. They'll tell you to tone it down. They'll say not everyone's like that. They'll ask for patience. For empathy. For understanding. For forgiveness. For you to educate. For you to explain. But listen to me, You don't owe lessons to those who spit on your existence. You don't have to turn your trauma into a lecture for the ignorant. You don't need to rip open your wounds so others can learn something. If they want to know, let them search. If they want to understand, let them get uncomfortable. If they want to show up, let them earn it. You are not their teacher. You are not their example. You are not their case study. You are you. And that is enough. Don't negotiate. Don't shrink your words to fit their logic. Don't simplify your pain to keep them from feeling guilty. If they feel attacked, it's because they are. Because your existence is an attack on their idea of normal. And that's okay. Let them defend themselves, if they can. Let them adapt. Let them learn to live with you or get out of your way. Don't expect tenderness from people who only ever gave you disdain. Don't expect justice from people who live off your exclusion. Don't expect understanding from those who never had the guts to question anything. You don't need their approval. You need your freedom. And freedom is not something you ask for, it's something you take. They want you dead inside. They want you trained. They want you grateful for the scraps from their table. But you're not going to lick their boots. You're not going to cheer their empty gestures. You're not going to pretend you don't see what you see. You're going to tear it all down. Every time they say you can't, you do it anyway. Every time they say that's not how it works, you scream louder. Every time they close a door, you break through the wall. Every time they say you don't have the right, you demand it like oxygen. Because what's yours is not up for debate. Because you're not asking, you're claiming. To you, my 12-year-old self, I don't wish you an easy path. I wish you war. I wish you fury. I wish you power. Because that's the only way not to vanish. Because that's the only way to live without bowing your head. Because that's the only way to look this world in the eye and say, I'm here. And I'm not going anywhere. And if anyone listening to this feels uncomfortable, good. And if someone's offended, even better. And if they walk away, let them walk faster. Because this message isn't for them. It's for you. And for everyone like you who, one day, realized that being yourself in a world that wants you different is an act of war. You are not alone. You never were. You are fire. You are truth. You are a threat. And there is nothing more dignified than that.